Imagine this. Two people graduate from the same university. They get similar jobs. They earn almost the same salary. Now fast forward 20 years. One of them has complete financial freedom. They don't worry about bills. They don't panic when an unexpected expense appears. Their money works for them. The other is still living paycheck to paycheck. Every month feels like a race. The salary arrives, the bills are paid, and before they know it, the account is almost empty again. Here is the shocking part. The difference wasn't their salary. It wasn't their education. It wasn't even their intelligence. It was the way they thought about money. Most people spend years learning how to earn money. Schools teach mathematics. Universities teach engineering, medicine, law, and business. Companies teach professional skills. But almost nobody teaches us how money actually changes the way we think. How our emotions influence every financial decision, or why two people earning exactly the same income can end up living completely different lives. Today, we are going to explore the psychology behind wealth. Not get-rich-quick schemes, not overnight success stories, but the hidden mental habits that quietly determine whether money stays with you or disappears. Because once you understand the psychology of money, you will never look at your paycheck the same way again. Welcome to Empires. Let's begin. Since childhood, most of us have been taught the same formula. Study hard, get good grades, find a secure job, earn a good salary, and eventually, life will take care of itself. It sounds reasonable. In fact, it's exactly what millions of people believe. But reality tells a very different story. Around the world, there are people earning impressive salaries, who still feel financially trapped. Doctors with enormous student loans, engineers carrying credit card debt, corporate executives earning more than they ever imagined, yet constantly worrying about money. How can someone earning so much still struggle financially? Because earning money and building wealth are not the same skill. Anyone can receive a paycheck. Very few people truly understand how to make that paycheck grow. Imagine your income is like water flowing into a bucket. Every month, more water pours in. But if that bucket has holes, it never fills up. No matter how much water you add, it keeps leaking. Those holes are often invisible. Impulse purchases, monthly subscriptions you barely use, expensive habits that slowly become normal, debt that quietly grows in the background. Small financial decisions, repeated every single month. None of them seem dangerous on their own. But together, they slowly drain your future. That's why someone earning half your salary can sometimes retire earlier than someone earning twice as much. The amount you earn matters. But what matters even more is what happens after your salary reaches your bank account. Let's imagine something. You have just received a promotion. Your hard work finally paid off. Your salary increases by 30%. Naturally, you feel proud. You tell yourself, I deserve this. And honestly, you do. So you start making a few upgrades. A newer phone, a larger apartment, a better car. Weekend dinners become more frequent. Vacations become a little more luxurious. Nothing seems excessive. After all, you can afford it now. Or at least, that's what it feels like. This is called lifestyle inflation. It's one of the biggest reasons people never become financially independent. As income increases, expenses quietly increase too, without realizing it. Your new lifestyle begins demanding your entire paycheck. The promotion that once felt life-changing starts feeling normal. Then another promotion arrives. And once again, your expenses grow to match it. The cycle continues, year after year. Eventually, you are earning more money than ever before. But somehow, you don't feel any richer. Here is the irony. Many people spend their entire lives trying to look wealthy, instead of actually becoming wealthy. Luxury cars, designer clothes, the latest gadgets, beautiful homes. None of these automatically make someone financially secure. Sometimes, they simply make someone look successful. Real wealth is often invisible. It's the emergency fund nobody sees. The investments quietly growing. The business slowly expanding. The assets generating income while someone sleeps. One person spends money to impress strangers. Another quietly builds financial freedom. Years later, their lives look completely different. Human beings have always compared themselves with others. It's part of our nature. But today, comparison has become almost impossible to escape. Every morning, we open our phones, and within seconds, someone is driving a luxury car, someone is on vacation, someone is buying a new house, someone is celebrating another achievement. What we don't see are the struggles behind those pictures, the debt, the stress, the sacrifices, or the years of work that came before the success. Social media shows us the highlights, not the whole story. Yet our brain compares our everyday life to someone else's best moments. And that's a dangerous comparison. Because comparison creates pressure. Pressure leads to spending. And spending often creates financial stress. Think about the last expensive thing you bought. Did you truly need it? Or did it simply make you feel more successful? For a little while. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things. The problem begins when your purchases are driven by someone else's lifestyle instead of your own goals. Companies understand this better than anyone. They are not just selling products. They are selling emotions, status, recognition, confidence, belonging, success. And for a brief moment, buying something new feels amazing. But then, another product launches. Another trend appears. Another influencer shows something better. The feeling disappears. And the cycle begins again. People spend years chasing the appearance of wealth, while quietly sacrificing the chance to build it. So far, we have uncovered 3 powerful psychological traps. The belief that a high salary automatically creates wealth. The invisible danger of lifestyle inflation. And the comparison trap that silently drains both happiness and money. But the biggest surprise is still ahead. Because your greatest financial enemy isn't your salary. It isn't inflation. And it isn't the economy. It's your own brain. In the next chapter, we'll uncover why your mind is wired to make bad financial decisions, how billionaires avoid those mental traps, and the simple habits that help ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. Let's continue. Imagine walking through a shopping mall. You don't actually need anything. You are just looking around. Then suddenly, you notice a giant sign. 70% off. Today only. Limited stock. Within seconds, your brain starts telling you something interesting. If I don't buy this now, I'll miss out. But think about it. If you never planned to buy that item in the first place, did you really save 70%? Or did you simply spend 100%? This is one of the biggest tricks our minds play on us. Our brains aren't naturally programmed to build wealth. They are programmed to seek immediate rewards. Thousands of years ago, this helped humans survive. Food wasn't guaranteed. Resources were limited. If an opportunity appeared, our ancestors had to act quickly. But today, that same instinct is used against us. Every notification, every flash sale, every online advertisement, is carefully designed to trigger emotion, not logic. Companies spend billions studying human behavior. They know what catches your attention. What colors make you click. What words make you feel urgency. What emotions increase spending. They are not simply selling products. They are competing for your attention. Because attention almost always becomes spending. Financially successful people understand this. Instead of trusting every emotion, they create systems. Some wait 24 hours before making expensive purchases. Some automatically invest part of their income the moment they are paid. Others create strict budgets that remove emotion entirely. The goal isn't to stop enjoying life. The goal is to stop making emotional decisions with long-term consequences. Let's play a simple game. Imagine 2 people. The first drives a luxury sports car, lives in an expensive apartment, wears designer clothes, travels first class. From the outside, they look incredibly successful. Now imagine another person. They drive a 5-year-old car, wear simple clothes, live well below their means. They rarely show off anything. Who do you think is wealthier? Most people immediately choose the first person. But appearances can be incredibly misleading. Being rich often means having a high income. Being wealthy means having financial freedom. One is based on earning. The other is based on ownership. Imagine someone earning $200,000 every year, but spending $210,000. Now imagine someone earning 70,000, while consistently saving and investing 20,000 every year, who is actually moving closer to financial independence. Not the person with the bigger paycheck, the person with better habits. Real wealth is usually invisible. It's the investments nobody talks about, the businesses quietly growing, the emergency savings that create peace of mind, the freedom to say no to work you don't enjoy. Money doesn't just buy things. At its best, it buys options. And options are one of the greatest forms of freedom. Imagine a child sitting at a table. In front of them is one marshmallow. An adult makes them a simple offer. You can eat it now, but if you wait, you'll receive two. Sounds easy, right? Except, many children couldn't wait. And honestly, most adults struggle with the same challenge. Every day, we are faced with similar choices. Spend now, or invest for later. Buy the newest phone, or build an emergency fund. Upgrade your lifestyle today, or create financial freedom tomorrow. Delayed gratification isn't about denying yourself happiness. It's about choosing a bigger reward, instead of a smaller one. Successful investors understand this deeply. Businesses understand this. Entrepreneurs understand this. They are willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term opportunity. Think about starting a business. The first few years are rarely glamorous. Long hours, uncertainty, risk, small profits. Sometimes, no profits at all. Yet many entrepreneurs continue, because they are building something that could create value for years to come. Whether it's investing, learning a new skill, or starting a company, the greatest rewards often belong to people who can wait. Debt isn't always bad. Used wisely, it can help build businesses, purchase homes, or fund education. But debt becomes dangerous when it's used to finance a lifestyle you can't actually afford. Imagine buying an expensive car. At first, it feels incredible. The smell, the excitement, the compliments. Then the monthly payments begin. Insurance, maintenance, fuel, interest. Suddenly, the car isn't giving you freedom. It's demanding your future income. Many people don't realize they are working harder, not to build wealth, but to pay for decisions they made years ago. That's why financially disciplined people ask one simple question before borrowing money. Will this debt create value in my future, or simply satisfy me today? That one question can save years of financial stress. The goal isn't to avoid every loan. The goal is to make sure every financial commitment moves you closer to freedom, instead of further away. When someone wins the lottery, it makes headlines. When a startup becomes worth billions, everyone notices. When an athlete signs a record-breaking contract, the whole world talks about it. But real wealth usually grows in silence. It grows through consistent investing, careful decision-making, years of patience, thousands of small habits. None of them look exciting. None of them go viral. But together, they become incredibly powerful. Imagine planting a tree. You water it every week. For months, nothing dramatic happens. Some people walk past and assume nothing is changing. Then one day, the tree is taller than everyone expected. Success works exactly the same way. People notice the results. They rarely notice the years of discipline that created them. Financial freedom isn't usually built through one brilliant decision. It's built through hundreds of ordinary decisions, made consistently, over a very long time. By now, you have probably realized something important. Money isn't just about numbers. It's about behavior. It's about emotions. It's about habits, repeated over and over again. But there's one final piece of the puzzle, and it's the one that separates people who simply earn money from those who create lasting wealth across generations. In the final chapter, we'll uncover the mindset of long-term thinkers, the biggest financial mistakes people make, and the one question you should ask before every major money decision. Let's finish this journey. Imagine you receive a raise. For a few weeks, you feel happier. Life seems easier. You finally have a little breathing room. But then something strange happens. Your expectations change. The things that once felt like luxuries slowly become necessities. And before long, you are chasing the next raise, then the next, and the one after that. This cycle has no finish line. Because the more we have, the more we often believe we need. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It's our tendency to quickly get used to improvements in life. The excitement of a new car fades. The new phone becomes ordinary. The dream house eventually feels normal. The problem isn't wanting a better life. The problem is believing that happiness always lives in the next purchase. Many wealthy people eventually realize something profound. True financial freedom isn't about buying everything you want. It's about reaching the point where you no longer need to impress anyone. When you are content with enough, money becomes a tool, instead of becoming your master. Imagine planting a seed today. Would you dig it up tomorrow, to check if it's growing? Of course not. Growth takes time. Yet when it comes to money, many people expect immediate results. They invest for a few months, then quit. They start a business, and give up after the first setback. They save consistently, but stop because progress feels too slow. Here is the truth. Wealth grows quietly. It doesn't usually arrive with fireworks. It compounds, little by little, month after month, year after year. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest one of the world's most powerful forces. Whether or not he said those exact words, the principle is undeniable. Small gains, consistently reinvested, can grow into something remarkable over time. The people who succeed financially aren't always the smartest. They are often the most patient. Because time can become your greatest financial partner, if you are willing to let it. Look around your room. Almost everything you own was built by someone else's business. Your phone, your laptop, the apps you use every day, the coffee you drink, the clothes you wear. Now ask yourself one question. Are you only consuming, or are you also owning? Consumers spend money. Owners build value. They create products. They invest in businesses. They own assets that have the potential to grow over time. That doesn't mean everyone needs to start a company. But it does mean understanding the difference between spending your income and putting part of it to work. Every dollar has a choice. It can disappear the moment you spend it, or it can become part of something that may continue working for years. The wealthiest people in the world don't rely on a paycheck alone. They often own businesses, investments, or assets that generate value beyond the hours they personally work. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts anyone can make. Ask 10 people what financial freedom means, and you'll probably hear 10 different answers. Some imagine private jets. Others think about luxury homes, or expensive vacations. But financial freedom doesn't have to look the same for everyone. For one person, it might mean spending more time with family. For another, it means starting a business they have always dreamed about. For someone else, it simply means sleeping peacefully, without worrying about the next bill. Money is valuable, not because of what it buys, but because of the choices it gives you. The ability to say no. The ability to take a risk. The ability to help someone you love. The ability to live life on your own terms. That's real wealth. Let's go back to the two people we met at the beginning of this story. They started with similar education, similar salaries, similar opportunities. But over the years, their decisions slowly separated their paths. One chose immediate rewards. The other chose long-term thinking. One spent first, and hoped there would be enough left. The other invested first, and allowed time to do the heavy lifting. Neither became wealthy because of a single brilliant decision. They became wealthy because of hundreds of ordinary decisions, made consistently. That's the real psychology of money. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about understanding your habits before your habits begin controlling you. Money will always come and go. Markets will rise, and markets will fall. Jobs will change. Technology will evolve. The economy will continue to surprise us. But one thing will always remain within your control. Your decisions. Every financial future is built one choice at a time. One purchase. One investment. One lesson. One habit. You don't need to earn $1 million tomorrow. You don't need to become an investment expert overnight. You simply need to make better decisions today than you made yesterday. Because wealth isn't built in a single moment. It's built quietly, through patience, discipline, and consistency. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to build a life where money gives you freedom. instead of stress. And remember this, the most powerful investment you'll ever make isn't in a stock. It isn't in real estate. It isn't even in a business. It's in the way you think. Because when your mindset changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your future changes. And that's where every great financial journey begins. Thank you for watching Empires. If this documentary changed the way you think about money, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychology behind wealth, business, and the world's greatest companies, subscribe to Empires. Because the next idea might just change the way you see success forever. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and remember, every empire is built one decision at a time.